Visvamitra said to the assembled sages, like Suka, Rama too has gained the highest wisdom. The surest sign of a man of the highest wisdom is that he is unattracted by the pleasures of the world. For in him even the subtle tendencies have ceased. When these tendencies are strong, there is bondage. When they have ceased, there is liberation. He is truly a liberated sage who by nature is not swayed by sense pleasure, without the motivation of fame or other incentives. And I pray that the sage Vasistha should so instruct Rama that he will be confirmed in his wisdom, and we too may be inspired. That instruction will surely become the greatest wisdom, the best of all scriptures, for it is imparted by an enlightened sage to the qualified, dispassionate student. Vasistha said, I shall surely accede to your request, and, O Rama, I shall now impart to you the wisdom which was revealed to me by the divine creator Brahma himself. So now Vasistha enters the stage, and the bulk of the text is really the dialogue between Vasistha and Rama. So Vasistha is going to confirm Rama in his wisdom, as Janaka did for Suka, although it seems that it's going to take Vasistha a lot longer than it did Janaka. Rama said, Holy Sir, kindly tell me first, why was Vedavyasa considered not liberated, while his son Suka was considered a liberated sage? So there's a little sticking point here. Vedavyasa, who's actually in the palace next to Rama's father, couldn't confirm his son Suka in his wisdom. Suka had to go to Janaka. So it seems to be a slight. There seems to be a slight here against Vedavyasa. And there's this curious passage which follows. Vasistha said, O Rama, countless have been the universes that have come into being and that have been dissolved. In fact, even the countless universes that exist at this moment are impossible to conceive of. All this can immediately be realized in one's own heart, for these universes are the creation of the desires that arise in the heart. This is what's true, isn't it? It's not. We tend to kind of assume this idea that we're relating to an objective, impartial world out there. We like to tell ourselves this story about ourselves, but we are driven by our own feelings, by our own psychology, and that colours that. We could say that colours the world, but actually it is our world. I don't think it colours anything. It is the world for us. It's only for the sake of what we might consider intelligent conversation that we assume that that's not the case. We assume, yes, it's a neutral, impartial, material world out there. But that's not the world we live in. We live in a world dominated by our desires, by our passions, by our feelings, by our psychology, by our psychological wounds. These are the worlds we inhabit. These are the universes we inhabit. That is what is real. Let's not pretend otherwise. All this can immediately be realized in one's own heart. So we're talking about universes, and we tend to think of these galaxies of stars and so on, which is certainly one way of looking at it. It tends to give us a nice cosmic perspective on things. But it's what's going on in our own heart. That is what is important to us. That is what is real. We've got this idea, when we're trying to be scientific, that we don't have feelings. that what's going on in our heart is not important. And it's true, if we are proper scientists, if we are physicists or chemists or whatever, we do ignore our feelings, and we construct objective theories. But most of us aren't scientists, so let's not pretend we are. And even scientists can switch into this mode where they can pretend they're not human, but they're driven on by their own passions as well. They're human beings as well. Anyway, all this can immediately be realized in one's own heart, for these universes are the creation of the desires that arise in the heart, like castles built in the air. The living being conjures up this world in his heart, and while he is alive he strengthens this illusion. When he passes away, he conjures up the world beyond and experiences it. Thus there arise worlds within worlds, just as there are layers within layers in a plantain stem. Neither the world of matter nor the modes of creation are truly real, yet the living and the dead think and feel they are real. Ignorance of this truth keeps up the appearance. It's difficult for us to let go of the notion of this external world of matter. In our dreams, which we say are just dreams, we experience the most absurd creations as if they're real. We wake up from them and then we forget about them, because then we realise they're not real. It's a point of reference in the Yoga Vasistha that reality is like this. That when we die, it's like waking up from a dream, and we wake up into another construction, another universe, another reality. It could be the reality of a dream. It could be a reality whose laws are quite different from ours, whose physical laws are quite different. It's an ongoing thing. It is quite a staggering notion, actually. I've got evidence of my own experience that this is actually the case. It's just an ongoing swirl of dramas, of universes, of patterns. When we die, we wake up in another world, and it's not necessarily we're being reborn into this one in a future incarnation. That's not it at all. It could be a new world which has got nothing to do with us as a personality. It's just consciousness arising in a new identity, in a new scenario.